We're gonna roast Tom Brady's resume so you can learn how to write a good one yourself. I've had a ton of professional help with my own resume, so I could get into Deloitte, Wharton, the #1 business school in the world. And I've also been on the other side of the table reviewing resumes at Deloitte and Wharton for people like you. Stick around to the end of the video where I'll share a resume template that has all the secrets. So let me take you guys to the iPad over here. We got Tom Brady's resume. This resume went viral a ton of times. It's kind of old now. And each time it goes off, it's kind of because it's just a bad resume and he's, the best of all time. So first impressions of this are kind of like his NFL combine scout picture is no signs of greatness. Format's all right, let's just get over the fact that, the date should be over here probably and should be in the actual full months. You can see there's a lot of space and all the sentences are super short, which kind of tells me he's going to fail all 3 tests we got coming his way. A little more on those tests in a second, but let's just cover some of the basics here. University of Michigan, good school. I got a lot of friends who went there and they don't let me forget that it was a good school. 3.3 GPA, not bad. But what's general studies? Who knows? Other than Merrill Lynch internship, the rest of it kind of looks like more Americana summer jobs, which is nothing wrong, but it's different from, I think, the more professional resume for the examples we'll be giving over today. But format overall, okay, no big complaints there. Let's look at the meat of the resume, which is the bullet points, right? This is where the magic happens. And this is where we have to apply the 3 tests. These 3 tests are Highschool Test, the CEO test, and the Hero test, right? So all 3 of them. So let's start with number 1, the Highschool Test. And basically what that test is, thinking of each bullet individually and asking yourself, would a high schooler understand this? Because resumes are sent to people that not necessarily know the job all too well, like recruiters at the beginning, they need to understand every bullet. And it's really hard if you're throwing in a lot of jargon. So let's look at this one, for example, programmed inventory control and reporting systems for clientele. I'm an MBA and I have no idea what that means. And this is supposed to be the job of a Merrill Lynch intern. So no idea what's going on there. A high schooler definitely probably doesn't understand this. So let's try to rewrite this in a more friendly approach. So what I have is created easily accessible financial dashboards for clients through Merrill Lynch website for on-demand reporting of their portfolios. That sentence is a little more friendly, a little more understandable by a high schooler, right? It communicates a little more clearly what these reporting systems were and what they were used for, rather than inventory control and reporting systems, right? And that doesn't really mean anything. It would be a good idea for you guys to share your resumes with a high schooler, and have them highlight each sentence that they don't understand. And I'm sure you all have a lot of work to do just from that. All right, so test number 2, the CEO test. So the CEO test is basically measuring, would the CEO care about that specific bullet? And what does the CEO care about? They care about the business. They care about profits, clients, expenses, market share, etc., right? You need to be able to tie your individual bullet to some sort of increase or growth in the business. This is the test that everybody fails because they spend their entire resume talking about their responsibilities and not their accomplishments. So looking at Tom Brady's resume, it's filled with responsibilities and no accomplishments, right? Exposed to upper level management, research stocks and fund reports while updating client portfolios. No accomplishments there, right? Worked with core superintendent while overseeing daily operations. No accomplishment. Gained valuable experience. Why does the CEO care about any of this, right? It makes them no money. Here, attained management skills through supervision of on-site staff. Get a little bit with supervision, but why does the CEO care, right? Why can anyone just do that? So let's try to rewrite a few of these. Let's rewrite this one. Research stock and mutual fund reports while updating client portfolios can become something more like research the 100 stock and mutual fund reports to identify the 10 best performing stocks for senior sales brokers pitch to clients accounting for $10 million in assets under management. A little wordy, but it's okay because the CEO understands what the gain was from this bullet, right? We know that he researched a ton of stocks. We understand that he compiled all that information to a small number of stocks, and the senior sales broker was able to use that to pitch to people with a lot of money. This does a better job of quantifying the accomplishments that he did with the responsibilities he was given. Let's look at another example because this one's kind of hard, right? Attain management skills through supervision of on-site staff. We can change this to supervised 5 on-site staff members at 2 different construction sites, resulting in 0 accidents, 0 complaints, and an 100% satisfaction rating. A CEO will definitely care about that, right? He knows exactly how many people he was in charge of, how many sites, and that 0 accidents never happened, and that there was a 100% satisfaction rating. The CEO cares about a ton of stuff on that bullet point, right? In the original version, there's nothing to care about. The CEO is probably snoozing when he's reading that. If you guys notice a trend there, is that I was trying to quantify as much as possible. CEOs are usually read reports and they're trying to grow the business. So it's a lot easier for them to care when you can show them growth in numbers. So looking back at your own resume, try to quantify as much as possible. Try to put a number in each bullet point, as hard as it might be. It might take a lot of thinking about it and a lot of trying to quantify some qualitative things like we did here. But if you can't quantify anything in a bullet, you're either not trying hard enough or that bullet shouldn't be there. All right, now let's look at test number 3. Is the hero test. So this one's trying to test if you are the hero of the story. Resumes are about your individual accomplishments so that the recruiter understands that what you bring to the table. We don't want to be talking about we accomplished this or my team did this. It's all about it's all about you. Tom Brady's resume does put everything up here, kind of focuses on himself, but looking all the way down here, we're looking at member of 1997 national championship team. I think that year he was backup quarterback, right? That's what we have, starting quarterback in 1998. But that bullet below doesn't give us any sense of why he's the hero in that story, right? Yes, they won a national championship team and he was there, but what the hell did he do to get them there, right? And I don't know what a backup quarterback does. Maybe it was actually nothing, but let's try to give him the benefit of the doubt and create a hero story out of this bullet. So I would change this to something like assisted national championship winning quarterback through leading weekly film preparation feedback sessions and helped create coded guides for over 300 plays used during the season, right? You've probably seen backup quarterbacks and whatever hold up those signs that have the different codes so other teams can't guess what the plays are. I don't know if that's actually what a backup quarterback does, but in that sentence, we kind of created Tom Brady as the hero there, where he assisted the winning quarterback, where he, helped them prepare for the plays, where he gave them feedback, right? So we actually found a way to give Tom that hero status in that bullet test. And while we're at it, we kind of threw in the CEO test there and quantified how many plays he actually helped out. So when you're looking at your resume, think about the high school test, hero test, and CEO test. I put a link in the description below to a resume template that has a bunch of examples of great bullets that pass all 3 different tests. Even show you how to quantify some qualitative things. It also has a bunch of comments for instructions on how to use the templates. Download it and hope it helps you guys get a job, get into business schools, or maybe just have a good resume in the backseat in case you're applying for the NFL draft this year. Thank you and good luck.